One of Hillary Clinton's predecessors as Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, used to begin his press briefings by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have some questions for my answers." It was a wry acknowledgement that he had information to share, but the information might not actually match the questions reporters were going to ask him. Even if you're not a politician, you may sometimes get asked questions you don't want to respond to. Sometimes the reporter doesn't have enough background to identify the best approach, or maybe she has an agenda that isn't central to the issue that you think is most relevant. Part of what's important here is that, like Kissinger, you have your own key messages going into the interview. In advance of every opportunity, you want to spend time thinking about what it is you most want people to understand by the end of the conversation. Because your significant expertise on the topic means that you bring more to the exchange than simply the ability to answer questions. You can also add value by linking the journalist's ideas and questions to other relevant insights they might not know enough to raise. You want to, in your head, reframe the interview as a conversation in which you're an equal partner. Then, if the reporter asks questions that you don't know the answer to or think aren't useful, you can often gently steer the conversation in a different direction. For example, if you get asked to comment on research you're unfamiliar with, you might bridge to known territory by saying something like, "I haven't read that study, but what we do know is," or "Our research explores a slightly different challenge." If the reporter asks a question that you think is irrelevant to the issue, you might say, "Well, the question we hear more often," or "Actually, what's most important for people to understand is." Finally, if the reporter provides an unsupported claim, you don't need to contradict him. You can just bridge by saying something like, "In fact, the most recent evidence shows this," or "That's a common misconception, but current studies make clear."